So today I got a video for you guys, a quick little video on kind of like putting you guys more up on game on certain situations, right? So I've seen videos, right, where they talk about the relationship with black and brown, right? Like I've seen videos where they say like they had issues with each other because of like they were Bloods and Crips, right? Bloods and Crips, like sometimes they wouldn't get along with certain Southside neighborhoods, right? Well, maybe it might be true in some areas, but I know where I grew up, like the areas where I grew up in, there was a lot of neighborhoods with where it wouldn't always be like this. It kind of would be, but not necessarily, right? So there would be neighborhoods, right? That would attack you for being like you could be like the Morenos. They couldn't go into certain neighborhoods, right? And vice versa. It would be the same way for the like homies wouldn't be welcome in certain areas. So so if you were black and brown, certain towns you wouldn't come around, right? So I feel like there's certain videos, like I've seen videos where I feel like they're sugarcoating, or maybe it was like that, but I know where I grew up, like there was issues with the Morenos, right? So they were like they wouldn't be welcome to certain towns, like whether they were involved in that street life or not. If they would go through certain towns, they would get attacked, which I know, like nowadays that would be considered a hate crime. Like if they would come to certain towns, like they would get attacked no matter what, if they're involved in that street life or not, or just normal people. The reason why I think that is, and why that happened, is because a lot of barrios, they were established like in the 50s. They were like the 50s, the 60s. So that's why I think a lot of that they had those old school ways, right? Like I know for where I grew up, like my grandpa, my pops, my uncles, my cousins, they were all from the same hood, right? Everybody was from the same hood. Everybody was family. So they had those old school ways, like their waters were established in the 50s, so they had those old school ways. So like they weren't like messing with, as far as messing with the brothers. They weren't having it, like that shit wouldn't fly. And I know there were surrounding neighborhoods too. It was the same way, which they didn't just so that they were on a mission to go after the brothers. That's how it was back then. And I remember there was even a time families there would be I remember one time there was a family that moved in where I grew up, in the city I grew up in. There was a black family that moved in. They ran them out real quick. I really can't detail it too much on how they got ran out of there. But yeah, they wouldn't have it, and like that's how they would put in work. Like that's how they earned their stripes. Like you catch them going through certain streets, they would get busy on them. They would attack them, whatever. And you catch them at parks, same thing. Like. But also there was neighborhoods that didn't get. There were other like neighborhoods that were homies that they didn't get along, but there was a lot of those neighborhoods that they didn't get along with the blacks. They wouldn't. That was just like another like. I know that I think it was because like I said, they were established in the 50s, and then you got those later on neighborhoods. They were like probably established in like the 80s and that, and I think they were more like cool with they were cool with the Morenos because they grew up with each other, and they even had like they had mixed races in their waters. But like I know where I grew up, it wasn't nothing like that. I just wanted to make this video because I feel like people like sugarcoat it, and just I think they're not educating people the correct way, or maybe that's how it was where they grew up. But I know in my areas it was the total opposite. Like it was had to do with with where they were from, but it also had to do with the color of their skin. You know, it had to do with the color of skin. And I know, for example, my pops, he used to get attacked by the blacks, and and vice versa. It would go the other way. It would always go back and forth, back and forth. And that's kind of like why I wanted to make this video. I just want to educate you guys, put you guys up on game. Like, not everything's with you. Like, when I see these videos, it's just like, it's like they're cleaning a lot of shit up. But I just wanted to make this video to make it more, you know, some more real shit from my perspective on it. You know, that's all I wanted to do. You know, and like nowadays I don't think it's even like that anymore. Like, there's no more animosity with the brothers and the black and brown. There's not really too much animosity anymore. I don't think there is really. It's kind of like rare if you see that. It's probably like the older cats, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say here. I just wanted to speak up on that. For the next one, I'll catch you guys. I'm out.